What's up, folks? We're off to see the Limehouse Golem. Golem?
I think that's a different film.
The Limehouse Smeagol.
Precious. Yeah, that's what we're going to see.
You really wanted to see this, didn't you?
Yeah, just because it's got cool people in it.
Cool people, Bill Nye, murder mystery, Victorian Ripper stuff.
Good,
it's gonna be awesome.
Good tube advertising. See it every day on the way to work.
Should be good.
Yeah, definitely.
How many more people have to die before the golem is called?
You keep my secret, and I'll keep yours.
The golem is still at large. Wasting my time could cost lives.
I believe the golem is after me.
I shall stop this.
I guarantee it.
We all wear pantomime masks, do we not?
Here we are again!
Okay, so we just got out the film, waiting for bus back. So what we're going to do with all these things, just try and describe our immediate reactions to the film in 3 words. You go first.
Okay, my words I think for this one are dark, intriguing, and twisty.
I like that. That sounds like a motorbike. That sounds like it could be an advert for a Magnum. Shit. What am I? So I get misleading. I guess kind of actually a bit heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
And cravat.
Cravat. Amazing.
Yep. Cravat. Yeah. Cravat. Hello, folks. We're back.
Hello.
We're back. Yay.
Yay, we made it.
We made it. We did. And that was intense, man. That was a really intense film. So we had our 3 words. So we had dark,
intriguing,
and
twisty. You're never going to be able to say twisty normally now.
Twisty. I don't know why I've got to do like this weird like, yeah.
Salmon?
Little salmon thing. I don't know. The salmon twisty? Discuss. Yeah, so you're dark, intriguing, twisty, and yeah.
What were yours?
Mine were misleading, heartbreaking, and cravat.
Do you want to start with cravat?
Do I want to start with cravat? Well, let's give people a little overview first. Now, there are going to be a few spoilers. Like, there's no way to talk about like a mystery without getting into spoilers.
No.
So basically, it's Victorian times, London. Bill Nye is an aging detective who's been constantly passed over for promotion because his co-workers believe him to be a closeted homosexual, and that's kind of frowned on in those days. So a bit unfair, but he's awesome. And Bill Nye is also really, really, really good.
Obviously.
There's this whole bunch of murders happening. A man has died and his wife is being put on trial for potential murder, and it goes really, really quite deeply into her backstory, alongside like paralleling all of these kind of like serial killings that are happening in and around Victorian London. And it's up to Bill Nye to take on this case because no one else apparently wants it. Like, the police are like distancing themselves because they believe it's unsolvable. So they're setting up Bill Nye to be a scapegoat, and he's like, no, I'm gonna bust this thing wide open. He doesn't say that,
but he means it.
He means it, yeah.
And he does.
He does. He busts it wide open, and it's man. The film. Do you know what? The film was gorier than I thought.
Yes,
it was gonna be.
Yeah, I didn't really need to see people with their eyes gouged out.
Yeah,
or,
prostitutes with their eyes gouged out.
Off or...
Although then again, like, it's a Victorian kind of murder mystery serial killer thing, I guess. But yeah. I guess this segues quite nicely into your first word.
Dark.
Dark.
It definitely was dark.
It was pretty dark.
Also because it was nighttime for most of the time.
It's a literally dark movie.
So anyone watching this or going into the film, whatever, knowing what it's about, will think that what I'm about to say is really stupid. But basically, I don't like knowing what films are before I go and see them. I don't like watching trailers. I don't like reading up about them. I just like to go and make my own judgment. And so I didn't know what this film was about. So it struck me as very dark because like, well, as you say, it was gory. It was just generally darker than I was expecting, I guess.
Yeah, it plumbs the depths of like the dark side of human nature.
Yeah, and also because, I mean, leading into the twist, the twist was so unexpected and also so kind of horrifying in a kind of weird way. I mean, it was the main character really wasn't who you thought she was, and so it kind of, and her sort of the way she sort of presented herself, she was so proud of herself, she was so pleased with what she'd done, and she was obviously so completely insane that like that was a little bit creepy. It was like so, I don't know, it kind of gave me shivers.
Well, that kind of goes into my first word, but I want to unpack actually something you just said about going into films like super fresh. So I used to be like the complete opposite. Like I'd read Empire and Total Film and like find out as much as I could, and now everything gets spoiled in trailers, and you feel like you've seen half a film before you go into it. So actually, I kind of like switched the whole thing around. Like I kind of agree with you to a certain extent. Like Rogue One kind of spoiled. The trailers for Rogue One spoiled me, although for a slightly different reason. It wasn't because it spoiled everything that was in the film. It was because there was so much in the trailers that looked really cool that then wasn't in the film at all.
I rebel.
Like it was, I mean, that's kind of sales description, like fraud, I feel, in a way. Like I was slightly disappointed with Rogue One. That's a sidebar. We don't really need to talk about that. But final act was great, but you know what? But yeah, I don't think it's stupid at all. I think there's real merit in just saying, no, I'm going to cut myself off. I don't want to know anything. I'm just going to go into this fresh, experience it, and then react to it however. Mm-hmm. So the main character, Lizzie Cree, played just so well by Olivia Cook. She's amazing. And this is what I mean by misleading, because like, it's massive spoilers. Yeah, the film really leads you down the garden path in terms of who the prime suspects, for these serial killings are. And I've got to admit, like, right up until the final twist, I was kind of thinking, well, the movie's telegraphed this the whole way. They've had one main suspect and, like, it's pretty clear that it's probably him. And if it actually turns out to be him, this is going to be the least suspenseful murder mystery ever.
Yeah, that would have been really disappointing, to be honest.
That would have sucked.
But I was so prepared for it that, I mean, it was brilliant. It was genius in a way, because I was so adamant that it was him that it never even occurred to me for a second that it might be her. Like, literally not for 1 second. Like,
this is it. Like,
of all the people in that film that could have been the person who did it, she was the last one I would have said. Because there were so many other suspicious characters, or people that acted a bit oddly, or didn't quite respond to the detective's questioning in the way you would expect, or something, or seemed a bit cagey, or didn't give straight answers. And so everyone had sort of like a bit of unknown about them. But she just played it so well.
She was so good. And the thing is, like, yeah, so the film kind of tells a story of Lizzie Cree's life, and it's her husband John who's died, and she's on trial for kind of his murder, and it's sort of the film makes you think all the way through that he's the golem. He's this serial killer who's been shanking prostitutes and killing Jews and all. He's quite an unsavory character, this golem person. And she falls in with a bunch of sort of musical theatre actors and comedians, such as Douglas Booth's Dan Leno, and he's another fantastic element to this film. But this is the thing, like you're kind of thinking, is it him? Is it his kind of mistressy partner, what's her name? Can't remember. Aveline, who really doesn't like Lizzie, and that's made a very big thing of it. So you're like, the world is against this woman, and Bill Nye, like, his character is like, I'm gonna save her. Like, in a way, like, cause the thing is, like, she marries her husband, like, her husband's got this kind of savior complex and you know, really wants to rescue this orphaned woman from her unfortunate life. And then Bill Nye comes along and later, like, oh, she's being accused of murdering her husband and kind of wants to save her from the gallows again. And she's like, all these men trying to save her. And it turns out, doesn't need them at all.
Definitely does not.
It's
even as a really young girl, even when she was first coming to the music hall, like, she started really young. Her first murder, she was incredibly young.
In a way, it's a really kind of macabre feminist parable. Maybe. Very dark though. But that's it. Dark.
Definitely dark.
Yep. Intriguing as well. Yep. It sends you one way and then at the last second spins you out. And you're right, like, looking back, I'm kind of like, of course it was her. Of course it was her.
Yeah, if you watch it again, we need to watch it again, because we were sort of both saying sort of on the way back that watching it again, when you know who it is, like the whole way through this time we were looking at it with the focus on who's it going to be and sort of focusing on the end game. Whereas if you watched it again, I wonder how many sort of telltale signs there would be that it might have been her. But then that could just be your mind, because you know it's her, could be inserting them. So you may never know. But I just feel like it would be really interesting to see it and see if there are any sort of giveaways when you're not sort of focusing on the male suspects.
Yeah, and that's kind of a thing, because like you made a really good point immediately after we'd sort of seen it, in terms of like how we watch mystery films. Like, you know, you'd think there's no kind of rewatchability, but I don't even know if that's a word. You do watch them in two completely different but equally entertaining kind of ways.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I said heartbreaking second.
Oh yes.
And I think like it's heartbreaking for Bill Nye.
Yes, that's true.
Like you kind of really feel for his character, because he's done it. He's cracked the case, and then at the end, like she gives him a confession. Just major spoil. We're just spoiling everything. Like she gives him a handwritten confession. Like he literally saves her from the gallows because he proves that like the handwriting of the golem matches something that he believes her husband wrote, and it turns out to be hers. And she handwrites him a confession. And it's basically like, I never want my name to be tethered to my husband. And then it's just like, I'm fine with getting hanged now because I rocked this murder spree. Yeah. And he, instead of like revealing everything, just sort of burns her confession and lets it all kind of wash away.
I have to say, I will never understand. I just don't get it. And that was the only kind of irritating thing about the film. Because I didn't really get it. Like, I know what you said about he wanted to save her, and that's great, but as soon as it transpired that she evidently did not deserve to be saved for a second.
I didn't even want to be saved,
and didn't want to be saved, and was also laughing at him in a way. She was enjoying it. She was having a great time. And I don't really see... Because the thing is, he set out to crack the case because no one else wanted to, and he was a scapegoat for the police and whatever. And so he wanted to look good for having cracked it, but revealing that it was her was also cracking it. Like, he didn't lose anything either way. So she got hanged, everyone thought it was the husband, and everyone thought that she'd killed her husband because he was the murderer. So he was still a sort of a hero. She was also sort of a hero. The husband, everyone hated. But if he'd just said, oh, it was actually her, the husband would have not been hated for no reason, even though he was a bit of a dick anyway, but whatever. But she would still have been hanged. People would have known who she was, and he would still be the hero because he cracked it.
But I think...
everyone wins.
But I think in some way, like, he kind of... Because everyone's dead by now.
Well, yeah.
Like, her husband's dead. She's been hanged because she's found guilty of murdering her husband.
Which she definitely did do.
Which she definitely did do. So I suppose, in a way, like, maybe he feels that justice has been done. But also, in that small... Because she hands in the confession because she wants to be known as the killer.
Yeah.
I guess, because that would complete... Oh my god, like, people would never forget what she's done. She'd go down in history, because she's all, like, actresses, man. Or actors. Just people at the theatre. Like, who'd be an actor? All they want is just names in lights or blood. And this is the thing. Maybe you're not allowing her to confess. Maybe, like, because she's gonna die anyway. Her husband's already dead. Maybe... kind of Inspector Kildare, Bill Nye's character feels that he's robbing her of that,
Yeah.
Like, he's not letting her win in that small kind of way, but it's deeply unsatisfying and thus heartbreaking.
Yeah. That's a good word.
That's my theory. But you're right. Like, it also... It's like a complete failure for the justice system, and it's just like maybe he's just like how this
get over it.
Yeah, this is the thing. He's gonna be haunted by that for the rest of his life.
But not necessarily in a good way. Not just in it. Well, not. I don't know if there's a good way anyway. But not in just. That was an intense case. Oh, that was quite. I saw some horrible things. But in a, did I do the right thing? I don't know. She was so horrendous. Like, did she get the better of me? Did I
victims get justice?
Yeah, exactly.
Shit, we haven't talked about cravats.
Yes.
Cravats. I don't even really know why I said cravats now.
Just because they were everywhere.
They were kind of everywhere. Like, I like Victorian ties.
Yes.
They're
The
everything's too
colours are great.
skinny now. Like, and as a big man, I like a big tie, like a big tie.
Would you want to wear a cravat though?
I've worn a cravat.
But like, not.
One of our friends is esteemed Victorian historian, Miss Fern Riddell, and actually we went to a Victorian kind of shindig.
We did.
That I don't think exists anymore under the old railway tunnels near London Bridge, and I had to wear a cravat for that because you had to come in Victorian dress. It was rad. It was awesome.
But you wore that on a night out. You wouldn't wear it to work.
Instantly Google's cravat, like Amazon's cravat.
Okay, but
Can I Amazon Prime a cravat?
No.
Just like saying it, cravat.
No, I know.
Cravat.
But no. Because,
Cravat.
and there's a very good reason why, because in
Cravat.
certain situations, it looks silly. Like,
This is true.
in the film, for example, there was a time when Bill Nye was in his cravat, and he had a shirt, and then he had his hat, and he didn't have a jacket on, and he was just about to put it on before he went out. But there was a moment where it looked really odd to have just the shirt and the hat. It kind of reminded me of those times when guys put socks on before their pants. So they're like naked just without their socks. I mean, with socks.
I've never done that.
Yeah.
Never.
Okay.
You're right though. It's got to be pants before socks. Otherwise, a man prancing about in just socks looks really weird.
Yeah. Like when
I'm not sure Bill Nye looked that weird.
He probably didn't look that weird. But it just, I don't know what it was. It was just in the moment. It just really made me
were you
think of that,
imagining
and-
Bill Nye just wandering around, probably in his hat and his socks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Bill Nye. So that's what cravats did to me. You liked them. I thought the costumes were great. Everyone looked good. They were all very well done.
Right, let us know. Do you think it's weird if a man puts on a cravat and a hat before his jacket?
But in any situation, if you went to a wedding and you were wearing top hat and tails, and you took the tails off and left the top hat on, would that be weird?
Yeah, okay, so it's more about the hat than the cravat.
Yeah.
Okay,
It was,
right.
the cravat was just there. It was more the hat and the shirt and the cravat combination, because it was like really weird, because basically because he had a white shirt and he had his grey cravat and then grey hat. No, he had a black hat. I can't remember. Either way,
He had a hat.
it was
a big hat.
Yeah, it was very weird.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So,
moving on, let's
jacket
move on.
before hat, people. That's what we've learned from this.
That is.
And also Bill Nye is amazing. We already knew that.
Yeah.
Olivia Cook is one to watch. Holy cow!
Yeah, no, she was
That was fantastic. And I suppose actually we've got to give our verdict. We're not going to score these things. We're not going to get into complex rating/review systems. We do a simple. We're going to keep it real, like the Romans did, gladiator style. All right. So should we just do a 3, 2, 1 sort of?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Double thumbs. First film got double thumbs.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I thought it was really, really good.
I thought it was,
I thought it was really, really
great.
good.
Very interesting. Definitely worth watch.
Definitely worth watching. And I think actually, like, mark of quite a good adaptation, I think, if you haven't seen or, like, if you haven't experienced the original in whatever form it was in. Like, this has made me really want to go back and read the book, find out more about this whole, about the world Aqua created, whatever, these characters, and actually just explore things that, because I don't think, especially when you have, like, book to film adaptations, the film can never fit everything in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just the nature of the medium, right? Even Lord of the Rings, which is like 3 films and like huge 11, 12 hours worth of content, even that missed some stuff out.
Yeah.
So,
well, of course.
Yeah, I really want to watch Lord of the Rings.
Oh, who doesn't?
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. There's going to be more of these. There are probably some clickables up on the screen, so make sure you hit those, check out some of the other videos. If you haven't already, hit subscribe, make sure you turn on notifications. We will be back very, very soon. So yeah, until next time.
Bye.